Hi, my name is Jessica Meyer, and I just want to give a quick tutorial on how to use the graphing calculator in Desmos. I just started using this maybe a week and a half ago, and I've been playing around with it a lot, and I'm really excited about using it in my classroom this year. I teach Algebra 2, so I love all the graphing that can be done in Desmos. So I'm just putting in the standard form of a quadratic equation, and I love how the sliders just pop up like that. If I want a slider for all three, then I just click on all. And now the sliders allow me to change the value of A to see what it does to the graph, or B or C. So of course if you wanted to just highlight one of those parameters, you could just do a slider for one of them. You can also change the range of the slider and the steps. So if I wanted to, only look at positive values, I could do that. If I just wanted to look at integers, I could do that if I wanted. Or I could go back -10 to 10. I like looking at maybe 0.5 as my step. So it goes by halves, like so. Otherwise it goes by tenths. As you can see, you can click on play and that'll just continuously move the slider back and forth. So that's a pretty cool feature. If I want to graph a point on this curve, I can do that. So if I wanted to plot the vertex, and I want the vertex to stay on the curve as it moves, then I would have to plot the formula for it. It's -b over 2a. And then f of -b over 2a. Desmos is so smart, it kind of helps you as you're filling that in. It kind of knows what you want once you get started. So now I have a point, and no matter what A and B become, that will still be my vertex, so it'll stay on the graph as it moves. You can change this to presentation mode, projector mode, which makes it a little easier to see for your students. You can make changes to the axes, the domain and the range that you can see, radians or degrees, all sorts of things you can do with that. Let's see, I also want to graph the axis of symmetry. So in this case, that would be -b over 2a. And since that's not an actual line, let's say I want to make it a dotted line. I just click and hold until this menu pops up, and I can change the color or the style like that. So now, again, no matter what A, B, and C becomes, that axis of symmetry will move with my curve. It's so neat. And now, if I want to do vertex form, sorry, I'm going to change this to g of x, because I've already defined an f of x. So I should use a different letter now. So let's see, a times x minus h squared plus k. There we go. Now, I used the a again, but a is the same as the other a, so it's fine to reuse that a. And then h and k represent the vertex. So again, I want a point at hk that moves with my graph. So if I plotted a point like 0, 1, that's just going to be plotted right there. So it's not going to move. So if you wanted, you could plot a point 0, 1 and ask your students, well, how am I going to adjust this curve so that the vertex is at 0, 1? That's a neat way to get your kids thinking about the vertex form and how the parameters affect the graph. I also want the axis of symmetry. So again, I want a dotted line, and this time I'm going to make it purple. And I'm going to change the color of this one as well. Let's do okay, and then let's do L of x is a times x minus r1 times x minus r2. Now the cool thing about r1 and r2 is I didn't have to do anything special to get those subscripts. I just typed in an r and then a 1, and it automatically does that for me. So Desmos, like I said, is really smart, and you kind of figure out what you're trying to do before you even do it. So now we have root form, so we can change the roots and see what that does to the function. And so if I go back here to my slider for a, that's going to change a for all 3 of my functions. I also like that you can add a folder. And so if I wanted to turn off any one of these graphs and all their parts, I could do that by using a folder. So let me do one for standard form. So I'm going to drag this over until you see that line. That means it's inside the folder. We're going to leave A out actually because A is in A affects all of them, so we'll keep A out. We'll put B in, we'll put C. I guess we have to move it up so it's right underneath that folder. We're going to put the vertex in the folder and the axis of symmetry. And now I can turn this folder on and off. And so everything inside that folder is going to turn off when I turn that folder off. So you can set this up and have it ready for your class when you're about to teach them a lesson, and you can have these to turn on and off if you want. So I could make another folder down here for my other 2 forms as well. I also like the keypad. It makes it a little bit easier to type in some of these things. So if I wanted to graph y is less than or equal to x, I could do that. Now I could use the keypad here for less than or equal to, or if I just type in the less than sign and then the equal sign, it'll come up with that for me. So a lot of really neat things you can do. I love how you can just click on the graph and find special points. So all I did was click on this curve, and it highlights the vertex, it highlights the roots, it highlights points of intersection with all of these functions. So that is really cool and really easy to use, and I think really helpful for teaching your kids so many topics. So that's what I love about Desmos, and I hope that was helpful for you.